My name's Wayne Putman. I'm a friend of Ann Benedict's. I tried phoning, but they...
She's not here.
Look, I know she lives here.
Beat it.
Annie. It's me, Wayne.
You shouldn't be here.
Why haven't you answered my letters?
What letters?
What are they doing to you?
You've got to get away from here.
I've got to see you.
Shh. Not here. I'll meet you down by the shrine in 5 minutes.
Get the girl out of here.
You recognize that, Mr. Putnam?
Never saw it before.
We have 2 witnesses. Saw you take it.
I'm sure they'll say that. They know what I saw.
You gonna stick with it, boy?
I saw 3 guys beating up on an old man.
Notre Dame, huh? And pre-law. Say, do you play any ball?
Some baseball.
Daddy's a pretty big man in the trucking business. But he's real proud of you. Son, we've got you cold.
We. You and who else?
Now, you listen to me. Breaking and entering burglary could get you up to 5 years. You can pretty well forget about your school, because they're sure going to forget about you. Don't imagine your daddy will be so proud of you anymore, either. You let me return this $400 clock to its rightful owner, and I can get you a suspended sentence on simple vagrancy. Provided that you get your tail out of here and keep it out.
Considered the latest reports from the Tucson diocese. The girl is being held incommunicado.
At her home?
Apparently. But the rumors persist. Therefore, the congregation has decided to commission you in this case.
Yes, Your Eminence.
Now, the congregation instructs that you conduct your inquiry without public knowledge. But you may, of course, use whatever means you deem necessary to gather the information that the congregation requires. May God be with you, my son.
Mr. Hatcher, Paul Logan of the Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith.
I don't think you're gonna have much luck with me, Father.
You're not exactly a true believer.
When I was in the Navy, they issued my dog tags, no preference.
The perfect devil's advocate. I'm on special commission from Rome, Mr. Hatcher, and my assignment requires the services of a private investigator. What do you know about saints?
I haven't met any.
And neither have I. But from time to time, the church receives reports of living persons of great virtue, reputedly. And almost all these reports contain accounts of certain miracles.
Well, who's the saint?
There is no saint, Mr. Hatcher. The process of beatification begins only after death. We're dealing with rumors surrounding a living person, a young woman.
What do they say that she does?
Oh, the usual thing, healing, visions, the stigmata.
You don't sound like much of a believer yourself, Father.
Well, the church itself is very cautious about miracles. Most of them are the usual thing, imaginary, hysterical, or perfectly natural phenomena. The important thing is, when a rumor threatens to get out of hand, we move fast to shut down publicity, make our own investigation. Now, if I entered a situation like that personally, it would only enhance the rumors we're trying to suppress. Therefore, someone like yourself.
Yeah, but why me? I mean, you didn't get my name out of the phone book.
Doug Haggerty recommended you.
Haggerty? The Bureau's in on this?
Doug and I went to Boston College together. I liked your credentials. Yale Law School, Navy Frogman, undercover work for the Organized Crime Division.
Look, Father. If that's what you're interested in, you can forget it. I want my life to be simple and safe. And I may not get a spiritual gratification out of tailing cheating husbands and shoplifters, but I sleep better that way. And I also get a chance to take my boat out sailing on sunny days like today. And as for saints, it's not a question of belief. It's just that they don't interest me. Like leprechauns don't interest me or vampires don't interest me.
Let's talk it over tonight. I've invited Doug and a friend of his to join us for dinner at 8 o'clock.
I don't think you got my point.
Cocktails at 7?
You're a bishop?
Many of the saints were downright reprobates before they turned the fury of their impulses to good rather than the evil they knew existed. Francis of Assisi was a free-spending rake before he gave all he had to the poor. The Portuguese John of God was a drunkard, gambler, and mercenary soldier into his 40s. And Mary of Egypt was a prostitute, like Magdalene before her. And St. Augustine spoke for the scoundrel in all of us when he said, God, make me chaste, but not yet. Of course, in every case of canonization, the church must be satisfied that at least 3 miracles have been performed through the intervention of that person.
Just what does the church consider a miracle, Paul?
An act or an event of such a character that its only explanation lies in a suspension of the laws of nature. Take the stigmata, for example. The stigmata is the appearance of the wounds of Christ on the body of the holy person. They usually appear during an ecstatic state on the palms of the hands, sometimes on the feet, around the head, as in a crown.
Have you ever seen one, Paul?
No, Doug, I have not.
But you do believe it's possible?
Well, the idea of the stigmata is so extraordinary it bothers even the church.
The wounds could have been self-induced or an hysterical reaction. You used that word this afternoon, didn't you?
Yes. But the psychosomatic theory falters on 2 points. First, the stigmatist bleeds real, analyzable blood, and the wounds heal quickly, sometimes in minutes. But most astounding, the blood has the unmistakable odor of violets.
Which you have never smelled.
Nor have I seen an act of transportation in which the holy person is witnessed in 2 separate places at the same time.
And this girl, she's supposed to pull off stunts like this?
Some of them, reportedly.
Do you believe this, Doug?
I don't believe anything I can't take into court.
How about you, Morrissey?
I'm a Catholic. I'd like to believe that we have an American-born saint.
Then what are you guys doing here, anyway?
The name of the girl is Anne Benedict.
She's the daughter of Frank Benedict.
Frank Benedict? The father of a saint?
Grace is the gift of God. I don't think one's mother or father has anything to do with it.
Here is a picture of the girl.
Since when did the Bureau start working for Rome?
No, Morrissey's with the Justice Department, Dave. He's been keeping an eye on Benedick's activities down there in Las Palomas, Arizona, for the past couple of years.
We're all in the same business, aren't we, Mr. Hatcher? Saints and sinners. She's a lovely girl.
In school, they called her Annie. Oh, this is Benedick's place. I think you'll have everything here you need: aerial photographs, architectural sketches.
So what you want me to do is a wall job? Get inside to see if St. Anne performs miracles, huh?
Any and all evidence to that effect, positive or negative.
Okay. What's the catch?
If the evidence is positive, there may be other considerations.
Like?
Like who her father is, who his associates are, and whether the environment is a proper one for her.
Oh, no. Hold on a minute. You're asking me to snatch Frank Benedick's kid?
Mr. Hatcher, I told you I didn't get your name out of the phone book. I was guided by your credentials.
Well, they don't include kidnapping.
Dave, it only becomes kidnapping if the parents ask us into it. Can you imagine Frank Benedick coming to us for help?
No, I can't. He'd go to a friend of the family.
Why, look at me. I'm not offering you the job.
But you'd cover in case I got in any trouble.
We never heard of you.
What about the local police?
Oh, hard to say. Benedict gets plenty of service. Hourly patrol, private escort for his friends to and from the airport. Well, there was one incident a couple weeks ago, I think. Breaking and entering. Seems to me the blotter name was Wayne Putnam, out of Denver. They kept him in the bounce room for quite a while before they let him go on a vagrancy, suspended. Provided he left town pronto. No, I don't think so. I don't trust him.
Beautiful. Do you know how much a job like this would cost? I mean, do you know how much ransom a real kidnapper would ask against the risk of grabbing a godfather's daughter?
Mr. Hatcher, perhaps you do believe in miracles.
Of course not.
Then it would never happen, would it? Without positive evidence of a miracle?
Which is up to who to decide? Me?
Naturally.
The investigation alone would be risky.
Make a bid.
50,000.
And another 50, if the option is exercised.
You're awfully quiet all of a sudden, Morrissey. Thinking about going into business for yourself?
I was just thinking that the American Catholic Church will take a dim view of a native-born saint being removed by Rome.
There's only one church, Ted.
And will that church take the responsibility for what happens to this girl?
I will take the responsibility.
Okay, Padre. You got yourself a deal.
Said you were feeling better.
Oh, sure. I'm gonna be all right.
I brought you a pear.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm going to take care of you now. Tell me what I can do for you.
there is something. We have a friend in the house. He needs your prayers, Annie.
Did he ask you to?
He needs your help, Annie.
Papa, I am not a magician.
Annie, you asked me if there was something you could do, and I'm telling you. Pray for him, Annie. For me.
Yes?
Dave Hatcher.
Oh, yeah. Bishop Logan talked to me about you.
Father, this looks like the town's true confession.
It is.
The last time I saw her was a little over 2 months ago, a week after the accident.
What accident was that?
It happened right outside the church. Tony Santana, he's a farmer on the south side of town. Nice guy. Came by in his truck to pick up his wife and daughter after Mass. His 3-year-old kid, Johnny, was riding in the back. But when he saw his mother come out of church, he jumped out, ran across the street, right in front of a newspaper truck. It hit him, ran over both his legs. Everybody started screaming, but Annie rushed over, lifted the kid in her arms, and carried him to the pickup. They drove off to the hospital. 2 days later, Johnny Santana was released.
Maybe his legs weren't broken. You know how kids are that age? They bounce like rubber.
Oh, I know. I saw him. Everybody there saw him. His legs were crushed. And next week, Johnny walked into church with his whole family.
And that's when everybody started hanging up their crutches.
That's putting it mildly. It was pathetic. People in wheelchairs. Old, blind Indian ladies. It was instant Lourdes on Mesquite Street.
Was Ann there?
No. I guess her father caught word. You see, he thinks I'm the one who's spreading the miracle rumors. But she came back the next day, for the last time. She wanted to know how to become a novice.
So she wants to become a nun.
She was just asking how.
And that's the last time anyone's seen her, as far as you know.
The maid, Maria Montoya.
She tells you what's going on?
No, she doesn't want to talk about it.
Who else comes and goes there, Father?
Her father, Jose, he's a gardener. You see that kid over there? That's his nephew, Angel. He makes the grocery deliveries to the house, and he's an old friend of Annie's.
Yeah, I saw him coming out of there today.
We play basketball together. Pretty good jump shot.
Can you get me on his truck, Father?
Maybe. I can try.
Okay. The accident, Johnny Santana. There must be some x-rays on him.
You'll have to ask Dr. Roth.
This is Johnny Santana on the 12th, 11:15 a.m. Look, the femur is fractured. Johnny Santana on the 14th, noon. These bones are normal. I mean, these bones show no signs of ever having been fractured. There's not even ligament damage. So if you ask me for a medical opinion, I have none.
wasn't a mechanical failure.
The master cylinder was punched full of holes. What I didn't tell the police was that someone left a calling card over my sun visor while I was in seeing Dr. Roth. What is that?
St. Jude.
Who is he?
Patron saint of lost causes.
Terrific. Well, at least he hasn't lost his sense of humor.
You think it was Benedict?
The police saw me cruising his place this morning.
You don't think the police did it?
No. But they know who I am. And if Benedict has got them wired, then he knows that I've seen Roth and Rubalcaba, and that would be enough for him to put that contract out that he had on me before. Who else knows what I'm up to?
Besides Father Rubalcaba and Dr. Ross, I don't know. Back in Salem, there was Doug Haggerty and...
Morrissey, Ted Morrissey. What was that he said about the American Catholic Church wanting to preserve a native-born saint? What was that all about?
Chauvinistic rot. There was something quietly fanatical about the man.
Do you think there's a group fanatical enough to arrange an accident like that?
No church can control its lunatic fringe, David. Do you want out?
I didn't say that. I just don't like dying for a cause. Especially a cause I don't believe in.
Anne was just a fair student. She enjoyed working in the drama club. I remember a lot of clowning around.
Did she strike you as being a particularly religious girl?
Not particularly, no. Young girls don't mix that well with religion. They alternate between total indifference and a kind of sickening piety with great outbursts of novenas designed to get the right boy for the right date or pass a difficult course.
Did she have any boyfriends?
Yes, she was very interested in a freshman from Notre Dame. His name was Wayne Putnam.
Putnam. Is he from Denver?
I don't know. Does his name mean something special to you?
It might.
And who is the nun who goes about saying she always knew Anne was blessed?
Well, that would be Sister Patrick. How did you know?
In every case of purported sainthood, there's one pious old crone who claims she spotted the potential saint long before anyone else.
Precisely.
I knew you were coming.
You knew?
In a dream it was. A great and important gentleman from the Holy City would visit this humble cell.
Sister Patrick, we wanted to talk with you about a dear friend of yours.
And many of them there are, Your Excellency.
Do you remember Anne Benedict?
Annie. She's my dearest, all right. She comes to visit me every Friday. I saw her last night, in fact.
You saw her last night, Sister Patrick?
Yes, Mother, standing right there where you're standing.
You mean you saw her as in a dream?
No, I saw her, I touched her. She gave me a bit of a fright, she did. She came in that door and her hands were bleeding. Annie, I said, what's happened to you, dearie? And then she told me that some strange and terrible thing was about to happen that would take her away from her father. But with God's help, she would arrive safely in the desert. And she gave me a rose for her return. A tear of Christ, she said it was.
Sister Patrick, have you been poaching in the garden?
Mother, you know very well we have no roses at this time of year. You think I'm a dotty old nun, don't you? Mother Michael thinks I'm a dotty old nun.
I think nothing of the sort.
With somebody the way I grew up with Annie, and it's kind of hard to start thinking of them that way, you know? I mean, like healing people, maybe being a statue in a shrine someday, or a medal on a chain. It's just kind of heavy. To me, she's just Annie. Here we go. Hey, Maria, ¿cómo estás? This is my cousin.
How do you do?
Hey, Angel. How are ya?
Tio.
Who's your friend?
Name's Dave.
How do you do?
I'm showing him the ropes.
You in the grocery business? It's a good business.
This is some garden you've got.
Thank you.
Hey, look, after we put this stuff in the freezer, maybe you give him the tour, huh?
Roses. At this time of year?
The only one, amigo. This is my lacrima Christi.
The tears of Christ.
Say, he knows all about them.
He's a good man.
The roots come from Italy. But for a year, for a whole year, it don't take bud. Then this summer, Anne came. I told her the story. She reached out, pricked her finger on a thorn, and I saw a drop of blood hit the roots. Next morning, there were buds all over. And the next day, they were all in bloom.
There she is.
Angel.
Annie, it's good to see you.
Oh, you're always running off in your dusty old truck.
Oh, it's just business. Hey, I want you to meet Dave. He's a friend of mine.
Hi.
Hi. This is quite a garden.
I'm glad you like it. But really, it's Jose's garden. Would you believe we used to swim in a fish pond together?
Benedict.
I think we better go.
No, you're my friends.
Miss Benedict.
I'm sorry. I hope you can come by some other time.
Thank you.
Violets.
What do we do?
Take the girl. Now.
Take her? Where?
If you can get her out of that house and deliver her to San Diego, I can guarantee passage on a ship to Manzanillo, where she'll be flown directly to Buenos Aires and installed in a convent.
I thought so. You had this all worked out ahead of time, didn't you? Even before I accepted your offer.
David, she'll be safe there, and she can be directly observed.
What is she to you, anyhow? Some bug on a glass slide?
She asked about entering the church.
That doesn't make her church property, but that's what you want her to be, isn't it? That's what you've always wanted her to be, another trophy for your collection.
David, there is now sufficient proof that she may be blessed.
Proof? What proof?
Her effect on the Santana boy. Those x-rays are very palpable pieces of evidence.
Circumstantial.
Sister Patrick's rose from the Benedict garden.
And from that you conclude a case of transportation?
You explain to me how it got there.
Look, one of the reasons you hired me in the first place is because I'm not a believer, right? Well, I still don't believe. There's not one single piece of solid observable evidence that can't be explained in another way.
Blood that smells like violets?
I don't know whether that's her blood or not. I didn't see anything.
David, she touched your hand.
You told me that you don't believe in miracles. But you want to believe in miracles, don't you? You really want to believe in miracles.
David, there's evil in that house.
Oh, come off of it. Well, yeah, I don't even know what evil is.
Then call it danger.
I don't know if she's in danger. I didn't ask her. She's a nice girl, and I don't want to start something and see her get hurt.
David, I am confident that you can take care of her.
Oh. You're some hustler, Padre.
And you're a pretty fair devil's advocate. What more do you want?
I want to know more than we do now about what goes on inside of that house.
kid Wayne Putnam, I want to talk to him. If he is Anne's boyfriend, then that police charge against him is a phony. And that girl Maria, who works in the house, you talk to Father Rubalcaba. Have him ask her some direct questions like, is Anne really being held a prisoner in her own house? And we've still got a wild card.
You still suspect that Morrissey may be behind your accident?
That's right. And that's something I know how to prove. No, I'm only a party of one, but I'll need 2 rooms. One here, 250, under my name, and another one across the courtyard here, 236, under no name. And you can put all of 250's calls into 236. And will you make a person-to-person phone call for me, please? To Ted Morrissey in Tucson, Arizona. The area code is 602. The number is 622-4699.
Hatcher? What are you doing up in Denver?
Just looking up Wayne Putnam for a little added background. Listen, the reason I called you is, can you run a check on your federal computer and find out if there's anything else on here besides that vagrancy bust in Las Palomas?
Oh, of course, yes. What's happening with the Benedict girl?
We're just waiting to exercise the bishop's option.
Really? Where are you staying in Denver?
The Mountain Glen Motel. Yeah. Area code 303-555-6329. Room 250.
And we were writing 3 or 4 times a week. Then in June, her letters stopped. Just like that. I telephoned her house, but they said she wasn't there. I mean, I was going crazy. So when exams were over, I hitched all the way from South Bend straight to her place.
Walk me through it again, will you? There were 4 men inside.
Yeah. The 2 older guys were yelling at each other about something. I couldn't hear. Then the other 2 started punching one of the old guys in the stomach.
Take a look at these pictures for me, will you? He look familiar to you?
Yeah. This guy held his arms.
And him?
On this one, he did the hitting.
And this one?
On this one, he wasn't in the room. I met him later outside. Who are they?
They work for Anne's father.
Huh? That's her father? That's the guy they were beating up.
What? Then who was the 4th man?
That's him. That's the guy.
Carl Gentry.
Who's he?
He's kind of a banker. Friend of Anne's father.
Not anymore, he isn't.
right, only this time he tried blowing me up. And Anne's not the only one that's being held prisoner in that house. Her father is, too. And the capo calling the shots is an old syndicate money mover by the name of Carl Gentry. Did you hear me?
David, listen to me. Something terrible has happened.
What is it?
Maria Montoya
What about her?
and Father Rubalcaba. They're both dead. Yesterday afternoon at 5, Maria met Father Rubalcaba as I arranged. She left the church at 10 minutes to 6. According to the police, she was attacked and beaten outside the rectory by an unknown assailant who ran down Father Rubalcaba when he drove off. David, I want you to know, you're no longer bound by our agreement.
You're not calling it off. You and I are responsible for those 2 lives.
Precisely. And innocence should suffer no more in our pursuit of a symbol of innocence.
Will you climb off of it? You were the one that persuaded me that there was such a thing as evil. He has a name. He's in that house. And I'm going in there to get Anne out. Gentry wants something.
But what?
Look, you offered me $100 grand for this job, right? That's funny money to a man like Gentry. He's used to dealing in millions, and he's got to turn over for a profit somehow, and he's willing to kill for it. So you're not walking out on her now, whether she's a saint or not. When is Father Rubalcaba's funeral?
Noon, the day after tomorrow.
And that's the day. I want you to drum up as much publicity as you can. I want that town crawling with mourners. I want the police tied in knots.
I think I can arrange that.
I want to talk to Angel Montoya and that kid Wayne Putnam. I want you to arrange a meeting with Morrissey.
Where do you want to meet him?
Your hotel room. Tomorrow night. 7 sharp. Don't be there.
Bishop Logan? Bishop Logan?
Now listen to me, Morrissey. If you think keeping Anne Benedict in this country is going to buy you 10% of heaven, I have no philosophical objections.
But when you try to total my truck with me inside of it, and then try to blow me up in my motel room when only you knew where I was, you don't explain that to God. You explain to me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You pray, don't you?
Oh, okay. They weren't supposed to do anything like that. Just scare you off.
Who? Who?
Oh, listen. Please listen to me. I know that you're not a Catholic, but if you were, you would understand. God moves by design. And this girl, don't you see, she has been sent to us at this time in history for a purpose. Well, you must see it. It's all around you. The corruption, the pornography, the decadence of our young people. And Anne Benedict. Now, she's an American. Don't you see that? She is as American as you and me. Rome has no right to take her away from us.
Right. And who has the right to kill Father Rubalcaba and Maria Montoya? Who has that right, huh? Come on.
Somebody killed a priest. Oh, my God.
Right on time. Keep your eyes open. Hi, son. Put those cuffs on him. I'll check her room. Don't be afraid, Anne. You'll be safe with us.
I remember you. You're not a priest.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Chief, there's something funny going on at the Benedict place. The burglar alarm went off. I tried calling, but the lines are dead.
I'm on my way. Take.
Annie!
You take her away and I'll come for her anyway.
The church is going to take her.
The church, huh?
Put your right hand up. Stick it through here. Other one. Sorry about yesterday. The chloroform. There wasn't time to explain.
Was my father hurt?
No.
Well, you're not a grocer, and you're not a priest. Is your name really Dave?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Argentina.
Argentina in a truck?
The truck only goes to San Diego.
Then we should be there by now. San Diego's only about 350 miles from Tucson.
Right. Only, we're not supposed to be there until tonight.
What happens after San Diego?
The truck will be put on a boat. It will sail for Manzanillo, Mexico, where you'll be put on an airplane and flown to Buenos Aires, where you will be taken by car to a little town called Suipaca, where you'll be put onto a pack mule and taken up the side of a mountain to the cloistered convent of the Sacred Heart.
Why?
Because the Roman Catholic Church wants to know whether or not one day you may qualify to be a saint.
There are a lot of people who think you are, Anne. They say you perform miracles.
Like what?
Stigmata, for one. Do you?
All I know is I love God. I speak to him and he speaks to me, and whatever else happens is his doing.
Do you ask God to help others?
Of course. Don't you?
Maybe I shouldn't admit this, but I don't believe in God.
Where is she?
He's probably telling Wayne that she loves God more than she loves him.
You really are a cynic.
Dead serious.
Have you told her?
Yeah. She takes everything as a matter of faith. She's an unusual girl, all right.
I'd like a moment with her.
She's concerned about her father.
I spoke with him.
You what?
Well, David, he has a right to know.
I don't think that was such a good idea. Was Gentry there?
No.
We better keep on schedule.
Port of San Diego, Pier 17, midnight tonight. Here's the balance of your fee. I've written down a number where I can be reached in case anything goes wrong.
Ann? This is Bishop Paul Logan.
There's a bunch of guys up here with machine guns.
Wayne? Try where I tell you, or I'll cut you in half.
Mr. Gentry wants to see you. Now.
Good evening, Father. I did tell you I'd return for the girl.
What can she do for your tax problems, Gentry?
It's not this world I'm concerned with.
Sorry, David. I don't understand how
His Excellency will understand the business that we have to do.
What business could we have together?
We're both Catholics. We deal in the same currency, souls. Put that gun away, Freddie, and get our friends some coffee. It's going to be a long night of collective bargaining.
I'm listening.
Sit down, do. You see, 2 months ago, I was told that I had 3 months to live.
What I needed, in other words, was a miracle worker, and I found one.
You asked Anne to pray for you?
No, I asked her father to persuade her to pray for my remission. But in failing on that, I am turning my efforts to the world to come. I'm arranging to spend the remainder of my days in a monastery confessing my sins, which aren't as many as you might think. So when I die, I shall probably go to purgatory and remain there, deprived of heaven, unless those I leave behind on earth pray for my soul. And that is the guarantee I want. A papal decree that every religious house on this earth pray for my soul for 99 years in return for the girl.
You're insane.
Well, it may sound that way to you. You're a young man. I'm an old man. I'm an old man who's been told he's dying.
In other words, you're moving fast to cover your bets, in case there is a God.
No. I believe in God. I believe in heaven and hell. And I believe in the girl.
You're convinced she's blessed?
I have seen her bleed from her hands and her feet.
What if the church doesn't give you the time of day?
Well, then the church will be deprived of its most important saint since...
I'm asking what you're threatening to do to her.
Gentlemen, there may be room for negotiation.
Negotiation?
But
With him?
first I
What
shall
the hell's
have
going
to
on
communicate
here?
with Rome.
You're supposed to be the
David.
holy man. You're as bad as he is.
David, you have your work to do, and I have my work to do. Right now, Anne is in there scared to death. I am confident you can take care of her.
Just for a minute.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
I should like a few moments to pray and reflect on the matter.
I only have a minute. There are 2 men outside making a deal for you. If there is a God, I can't imagine them working his will. We don't have time for that. I think one of them may be stalling long enough for me to make a decision. Now, I have to know from you now whether you trust me. Then find something to hold on to, tight, and don't let go until you see me again. What do you know? I got a benefactor.
What do you mean?
Someone left their keys in the car. Get in. Get in.
You just can't take
We're
something.
doing it.
Where are we going?
Mexico.
There's a little town up ahead. San Ignacio. We'll stop there.
San Ignacio, a warrior saint.
Sorry, Father. He's not going to make it. His spinal cord is smashed. You know the family?
No, I don't.
Through this holy anointing, may the Lord live.
How you doing?
I like it here.
So do I.
But I miss my father.
Yeah. You're going to have to start living your own life, though. You know that.
I know. Just like I knew I'd be coming here, to the desert.
I heard about that, you know. From an old nun, Sister Patrick.
I don't remember.
You don't remember going to her? Taking her a rose?
But I remember all the times she was good to me. Times when I wanted to cry. I want to cry now.
I think Wayne is dead. Last night when we were driving out of that warehouse, you heard the shots.
I want to go in there.
Bishop Paul Logan, please. The Diocese Exchange? Well, give him this message. Tell him that Dave called, that the two of us are in San Ignacio, Mexico, Baja California. That's right. Tell him I'll call him back tonight. Right. Thank you.
Wayne.
Annie?
Thank you for helping me.
Annie, it's good to see you.
You're going to be all right. Go back to sleep now.
Thanks for coming.
Where is she? In there. Since morning.
And you?
Right here. For a while.
For quite a while.
You might not believe what I'm going to tell you if I was sober. I mean, I sure as hell...
You don't have to tell me.
Oh, I want to tell you. I have to tell you. I saw...
You saw the stigmata. About noon.
Yeah. About?
I saw her too, David. In San Diego. She came into Wayne Putnam's hospital room. She spoke to him. Touched him. This morning I administered last rites. This afternoon, he's walking around. He's eating sandwiches.
Where's Gentry?
The police have him in custody. Some questions about those murders in Las Palomas. We've got to get her to an airport.
Leave her alone. Nobody's taking her anywhere.
David, we know. You've got to believe.
Belief? Don't talk to me about belief. I don't know about that. I haven't figured this thing out yet. I don't know if I ever will. But you're not dealing with an idea anymore. Whatever else Anne is, you're dealing with a human being. A person. Has anybody ever asked what she wants?
Have you?
Yes, I have.
And that is?
She wants to stay here.
Here?
That's right. Right here. She won't be hassled. She won't become some kind of a sideshow freak.
The church might not... What?
Oh, don't hide behind the church now, Father. You're the one that told me that when the big moment came that you'd take the responsibility, right? Okay. This is it. I want to hear it. You tell me. Tell me. Who is going to know better what God wants for that girl? People like you? Or Anne herself?
My next assignment will probably be as a missionary in the upper Amazon.
Well, at least you won't have to answer the charges of auto theft, kidnapping, and statutory rape.
David, for what it's worth,
You're sure about staying?
For now. And I'm going to start living for myself and thinking for myself. And I think this is a good place for that.
I don't know. But then I'm not that sure about a lot of things these days.
Well, why don't you stay for a while, too?
No, this is right for you. Besides, I do my best thinking in a sailboat.
I'll pray for you.
Just pray that I get that thing started.